Sean Colo with DiscountJuicers.com to do another exciting episode for you. In this episode, we're going to unbox the all-new Kuvings Auto10 that has just been released inside the United States. I covered this previously in March of this year when I went to the trade show and they had the prototype there, and now they have it finally available for you guys. Now I'm going to unbox the hands-free Auto10 Kuvings Slow Juicer. As you guys can see, it's already winning awards. And the world's first on the Kuvings is that it has a full 100-ounce hopper. That's about 3 liters. That's how much produce you could put in there, which is more produce than any other hopper-based juicer on the market at this time. Some companies are actually making the hopper design smaller, which is not a good idea in my opinion for Americans that juice a lot and want to drink lots of juice and like everything supersized. So I think Kuvings got it right. They have an automatic cutting system and a robust interlock with safety features and an all-new cleaning brush that makes cleaning easier. Plus, their Auto10, unlike their previous machines, has been redesigned actually from the time I saw it originally at the trade show to now to be even improved so that you could clean the screen even easier and you're not going to get the residue clogged in the screen from what I'm being told, but we're going to check it out in this video. So let's go ahead and open this up and see what we got. Now the first thing I'm going to tell you guys is that this machine is made in South Korea. This is a very high quality machine. Kuvings has been in business for over 45 years now. And of course the heart of the machine as we pull it out is the main motor. So I love this motor body. It's nice, small, and compact, and actually heavy and stout, and actually has handles on the side to pick it up. This is made in the Kuvings factory. Other companies may source motors from other places, but I really like that Kuvings makes their own motors. And this is an improved motor with a half-hour runtime, and it can be used easily for up to an hour. 240 watts, and this is the first Kuvings juicer to have that special detachable cord, the IEC cable. I love this so much. I hate with juicers that have the cords attached. This is the new way, guys, so I'm glad Kuvings is catching up at the times. We got the base, comes in multiple colors. Next up, we got the magic, where the magic happens. This is all the juicing components of the Kuvings Auto10 that we'll just set up on top. That's what it's going to look like. So you get the main juicer with all the juicing apparatus, but there's some more goodies in the box. So number one goodie is you get the pusher, which I find I rarely ever use. That usually just sits in the box. Generally, these hopper style designs are pretty efficient at feeding things in and pre-cutting and feeding things in at a slow and moderate pace, so you don't get the blockages or clogs that other vertical juicers would formally give you. Next, they give you these smoothie strainers, so you guys could make quote-unquote smoothies. I would not say this takes the place of a blender, but it basically allows you to process fruits and vegetables and get all the juice out. That's much more thick because it has a coarse hole screen, and unlike other smoothie attachments that come with other machines, this attachment will not send any pulp out. This will force all the pulp to come out the screen and then give you a much more thick consistency. So I do like that they have a real smoothie attachment. Of course, next out, the most wanted attachment is the Sorbet attachment, which comes with the Auto10. It does not come with other hopper style juicers. So I like that a lot. That's included. You also get 2 collection cups. My only concern on these collection cups is because you have a 3-liter hopper. Is this collection cup large enough to catch all the juice that one hopper would contain? This is measured up to 1,000 milliliters, might go up to maybe 1,100 or so because it is a little bit taller. And of course, you have one to catch the pulp as it comes out. Next up, we're getting down to the end, you get a recipe booklet. So this is especially good if you're new into juicing, you don't know what to make, and it's going to give you a special recipes with lots of different recipes in here. This is over 40 pages of different recipes and information on getting juicing and how to do it healthfully. Of course, you have your Auto10 instruction manual. This is bilingual in French and Spanish. And of course, you have the information card. If you have any problems with the machine, you want to give Kuvings a call. They have excellent customer support. They'll take care of you. And of course, you get the product registration and warranty information. And I'm glad to say that this machine has a full 15-year warranty, which is the longest warranty in the industry on all the juicer motor and the parts. And then of course we got one last piece coming out, and this is their all new redesigned cleaning tool. So I really love how this is handy. I would call this like a folding cleaning tool, so it takes a lot less space and it works a lot better than their previous cleaning tool that they had for many years. Their previous cleaning tool was round and kind of large, and it only cleaned the outside of the juicing screen, whereas their new cleaning tool is revolutionary because it not only cleans the outside but also scrapes down the inside as well. So just show you guys how this works. Just gonna put this in and it just fits in on the bottom just like that, and then you close it and then you slide this little locking thing like this. Then you just spin it around and the outside is scraped down by these basically plastic razor blades that basically get the outside of the screen clean. And the inside is then brushed with these stiff bristles that will get your screen clean. So this tool is completely amazing. You know, I mean, it takes Kuvings to innovate this, and I hope other companies will, you know, come out with some kind of cleaning tool, because this is the pain point of vertical slow juicers, is cleaning the screen, and this tool clearly makes it a lot easier. And that's all we got for what's in the box. So next, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take the juicer apart piece by piece, share with you guys the design, and share with you guys my personal opinions about how this machine was designed, as well as how you use it. All right, so this is the Auto10, and let's go ahead and take it apart part by part so you guys could learn more about it. Actually, I have not used the production model at all. This is going to be my first time I'm using it, and so we're going to check it out together. So let's see. So first you have the main top set. Of course, you have the bottom motor base, which is nice and stout, nice and heavy. Once again, it has handles on the side to pick it up easily. Now, the main claim to fame on this hopper is that it has 100 ounce or 3 liter capacity, which is impressive. The other thing is that I like is the latch on this. The latch, you basically just use your thumb and push it up, and this is a positive feel latch, right? Unlike other latches on other machines that may even pop up during juicing, this one will not pop up on juicing for you because it is solid and tight. Now, the issue I have with this machine is if you just push on this a little bit, it falls off. So I hope that Kuvings will improve their little hinge design in the future, make it a lot more tighter, because, you know, it falls off rather easy. And you guys know on my channel, I tell you guys like it is. I'm not trying to blow smoke up your you-know-what. I'm telling you guys and sharing with the Kuvings, hey, my personal opinions on this machine. I'm sure Kuvings will fix this in the future, so maybe the machine you buy, as you see this, will be already corrected, you know, but that's a little bit of a weak point for me. But of course, just don't bump it, and it closes and opens just fine, all right? Next up, we got the hopper, which is their claim to fame. Now, the interesting thing on this hopper, to remove it, you can't just turn it. There's a little button here. You guys see this little button? It goes down and goes up. So if you put your hand in here and then you push your hand down, then you can just turn it and lift it off. And here is the full 3 liter hopper. This is a lot larger, so it seems a little bit more squat and wide than tall, like some of the other hopper style juicers out there. In addition, on the bottom of this, they have a nice gasket on the outside, which seems nice and thick. So hopefully that prevents any kind of leakages. And they have a standard metal to metal coupling on the top of the auger, and the coupler that runs the processing blade on the inside. Now, they do have a unique style of this processing blade, and I really wonder how effective it will be. I'm sure it will work, but the question is it as effective as other hopper style machines? And, you know, I have not tested this compared to other machines, but if you guys want to see videos on that, click the subscribe link down below. Make sure you click the little bell, because I will soon be having videos comparing this against all the other major brand juicers on the market, so you guys could learn the differences in performance and yield. Now, the other thing I will say is on this processing blade, which I think is truly revolutionary in juicing, because what the processing blade does is that it pre-cuts the food to some extent, so you don't have to cut as small. And more importantly, if designed properly, it will feed in produce at the slow and moderate rate so that the juicer is never overloaded. The #1 cause of problems with vertical juicers, including the Kuvings old models, where the where the customer actually had to drop produce in or feed it in or push it in, and they would do it far too quickly for a slow juicer, and then you would get clogging and jamming. This should eliminate the pain point that many people have had using vertical juicers because of the automatic cutting and feeding feature of these processing blades. Now, the one complaint is that this processing blade, to me, seems rather tight in there. I mean, I could move it if I push pretty hard, and I'm sure the motor, with all the motor power, will be able to move it, but I personally think that it should just be a little bit more loose. So maybe that's something they can improve at the factory as well. Next up, we got an all-new design on their auger and screen. It's unlike all their previous generation whole slow juicer models. So I'm really excited to see how this works. So they have a auger here with an interesting design. They have a single blade that kind of cuts up things to some extent, although it is not sharp. And then they have a little nubby thing here that probably helps pull things into the juicer. I do like that. And this is entirely new design for Kuvings. Of course, it has the little gears on the bottom that will drive the automatic wiping screen as well. And of course, this is made out of the GE Ult material that is 8 times harder than augers that can be used on especially imported cheap Chinese juicers these days. Next up, we have their all-new screen design. So unlike their other screens that came on their whole slow juicer series with the closed bottom, this actually has an open bottom, and I was surprised to see this when I got the production unit because the sample unit at the trade show had a bottom on it using their old design. So, they went to a design with the open bottom, so hopefully the performance is improved. In addition, I was told that the screen holes on this are made a little bit differently, so it does not get impacted with pulp. So we'll be testing that out. But to me, this just looks like a standard juicing screen. Now, the one difference I have seen just instantly is that most juicing screens have a smaller hole on the bottom, larger hole on top. Whereas on this Kuvings, it actually has a similar size hole from the top and the bottom, which is quite interesting. That can affect yield. Maybe it'll be better because it'll put less pulp in your juice than other machines on the market. We will see. And of course, you have your standard wiping blade that has the silicone wipers that will wipe down the screen from these wipers, and the outside will help swoosh juice into the pitcher as well as clean juice off the juicing bowl. This just seems to be a standard part. Actually nice and heavy duty because some of these I could flex, and this one is really solid, man. I can't bend this or flex the bottom. It just does not flex. It's a really good built piece. And of course now we have the juicing bowl. The thing I like about this juicing bowl is that it's going to be easy to clean, guys, because it's basically like a cylinder. You got the sides, and then you have a flat bottom. Some bowls on some machines have all these cracks and crevices and nooks and crannies and channels and things that are hard to clean out. Not the Kuvings Auto 10. It's going to be simple to clean out, pretty much flat on the bottom except for a little cutout here where the pulp is directed out. You have a little spinning gear here, as well as their special juice spout cap that you could plug in so you don't get juice dripping on your countertop when you're done juicing, or if you want to use this to mix juice in your juicer bowl as you're juicing. I do not recommend that. Personally, I recommend leaving this up when you're juicing and close it when you're done to prevent drips. And then, of course, we have the quick release cleaning pulp port on the Kuvings Auto 10. So I really love that they're going to the quick release. This makes cleaning the pulp port significantly easier than other machines. You can just flip this little lever down, drops right open. Oh, and this is the cool thing. They actually put the gasket on the underside of the bowl, whereas most gaskets on the flip opens are connected to the flip open piece that drops down, the trapdoor. Now they also have a little black pulp flap that actually puts back pressure on the pulp as it's coming out. The one thing I will say about this is that while it is connected, so you're not going to lose it, unlike other machines where it just comes out completely, cleaning under this may be a little more difficult because it is connected. Now the other thing I will say is that when you clean this, right, you can't ever push it back in to be just how you bought it. It seems that the silicone on the bottom of this is just a little bit too fat for the hole built into this flip down. So don't worry, If it doesn't fit all the way in, just push it in as much as you can and then just close this and latch it up and you'll be good to go. It'll still be doing its job to put back pressure on the produce before it can come out. It's a very simple and easy piece, and of course we have the main motor assembly, 240 watts of Kuvings power. This has the most wattage of any of the other hopper style juicers that I've seen to date from South Korea. And I guess the next thing is we're going to go ahead and assemble it. So the cool thing about the Kuvings Auto10 is that you can assemble it on top of the base. Some juicers you cannot assemble on top of the base. So the first step is we're going to go ahead and take the bowl and drop it on the top of the base. Next step is we're going to take the wiping blade and the screen and just drop that in there so you can turn it freely. And then we're going to line up the red dots. So there's a red dot here on the juicing screen, a red dot on the bowl. We're going to line those up, drop it in place. Next, we're going to go ahead and take the auger, drop the auger in place. Next, we're going to go ahead and take the hopper. On the hopper, there's a little arrow that points down. This arrow needs to be lined up with the unlock. So we're going to line it up to the unlock. It drops in place, and then we're going to go ahead and turn this to the lock position. And when you do it, I want you guys to listen for the click. You hear that click? That's clicked in, locked in place. The most important thing is you want to remember this handle needs to be over the juice spout. And then of course we got the lid, put it on the hinge, drop it down, and if you've assembled this correctly, it's going to turn on. And there's a nice low and slow juicer running for you guys. The Kuvings Auto10 nice and quiet because it is a cold press slow juicer. So the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and juice in the Auto10 the first time I've juiced in this very machine. So now I'm all set up and ready to juice in the Auto10, and this is the most amazing thing. Look at all this produce I'm going to juice, guys. This is a lot of produce, and do you believe all this produce is going to fit into that hopper there? I don't know, look at the difference. It doesn't look like it's going to fit. Will it fit? This is like a 2-quart measuring cup, but that holds actually 3 liters, 100 ounces. So let's see if we could fit all this produce in there. I think it's gonna fit, and that's why the Kuvings Auto10 rules the other hopper style juicers out there, because the hopper is larger. You could put in more produce juice at once so that you have to babysit the juicer less. Once again, this is called a hands-free juicer because once you load it up, you shut the lid, you can walk away and juice without having to use your hands and push each individual produce item in the machine. The hopper style juicers are revolutionizing the market and changing the game in juicers. So I want you guys to get caught up and get a hopper style juicer if you don't have one already. People rave about their hopper style juicers because sitting and pushing in each produce item one at a time, it's so 1987. All right, let's see if we can dump the rest of this produce in there without spilling it. All right, I'm pushing it down. Are we going to be able to fit the rest? We got a few more things. Check it out, guys. This is insane. All the produce that was in here, it was overflowing, fit in the Auto10. Now, yes, it's a little bit high, and they have a maximum fill 9 that I never really pay attention to. Now, the cool thing about the Auto10 is on other hopper juicers, you couldn't do this. You tried to close this lid on other hopper juicers, it's just going to pop back up because there's resistance. With the Auto10, even if you overload it, like I did, so don't try this at home, right? You can shut the lid, it locks in place. It doesn't pop up, and you're all ready to juice. So with a fully loaded hopper, let's find out how much juice we can make in the Kuvings Auto10. So I want a time to see how long it takes the Kuvings Auto10 to juice the whole hopper full. Other machines may take 3 to 5 minutes, depending on what's being juiced. So we got a stopwatch app. We're going to go ahead and hit start and turn the machine on. And we're just going to go ahead and let the machine juice all the produce without me. You guys can see it ran 3 minutes and 46 seconds. And we made lots of juice. Now the one big problem I personally had is that their container is not large enough, guys. If you fill the hopper up all the way like I did, you turn it on, you walk away, right? And you don't come back because you think, oh, you're going to be good. You made extra juice in almost 500 milliliters. So this is 1.5 quarts of juice, about a half a quart more than other juicers can make when you fill up the hopper, right? It'd be overflowing because their pitcher only holds 1 liter instead of 1.5. So my personal opinion is that maybe you should use this unit, which is a little bit larger. This one holds up to maybe 1,400, so this one might hold everything, but their catch cup is definitely too small. Now the other thing I will say is that I want to show you guys this, right? First, I always like to tip up the machine to get any drips out. Then the next thing I want to show you guys is just what really happens inside the hopper. So, you know, to me, if we open up this hopper and look inside, it's done a fairly good job at getting all the produce out, but I believe that other hoppers from other machines would maybe leave a little bit less residue in the top. You guys can see there's a lot of residue just sticking to the hopper that didn't drop down. Now, yes, all hopper juicers, there will be some residue in the top, more or less depending on what you're juicing and the specific design of the hopper. But to me, I mean, this is good, but I would like to see a little bit less pulp in the top. So let's go ahead and just kind of slosh this down and kind of push it into the area where it goes in the machine and see how much more juice we're actually going to get out. All right, let's go ahead and turn it on and see how much more juice we get. So currently we're at about 450 approximately. And as you guys can see, the pulp is flowing out once again. There's a little bit more juice coming out of the machine. We're just going to go ahead and let this run to see if we could get maybe up to 500. All right, turn it off, and once again, tip this up a little bit more, get a few more drops out. And so let's see what we got on the yield. Yeah, we basically just made it to almost 500. So there's about another 50 milliliters of unjuiced pulp. Now, of course, there's always going to be pulp left in the chamber that's juicing, so if you guys want to get even more out, you could drop the pulp back in the machine that came out to push this drier pulp through where there's still some wet pulp contained within the machine. But nonetheless, we made literally 1.5 quarts or 1,500 milliliters of juice in one hopper load, which sets a world record because formerly you could only make about 1 quart of juice at one time with other machines. Of course, next up, I want to go ahead and taste test the juice to see how well this juicer juices. Look at that nice juice texture. This is unstrained today. When I do comparisons in the future, I'll be straining it to share with you guys the differences. Wow. That's actually a really good juice, guys. If I had a little bit of ginger in there, I was out of ginger, it would have been over the top. This reminds me of like an Orange Julius when I was a kid. Just 100% Valencia Oranges, Jicama, and 1 cucumber. That's a really nice texture, guys. I don't detect any grit, so I definitely think that Kuvings has done a good job upgrading their juicing screen from their previous designs they used to have. All right, so next I want to show you guys actually what you're going to have to clean when you're done juicing. Let's go ahead and take this off. So once again, on this top piece, you could remove the lid. You guys can see little splashes on there. Just rinse this off. Really good to go. And then you're going to press down this button. So I like to just hold the latch, press it down, and then turn it. And it's going to unlock and come up. And you guys can see after I pushed everything back down into the machine, it pretty much fit all in there, except for a little bit that's hung on the bottom right underneath there. So that's going to be pretty easy. Next up, we're going to go ahead and remove the auger. So the auger, amazingly, guys, it's pretty clean. There's a little bit of residue at the bottom, and this seems fairly dry, consistent with the pulp that's coming out of it. Next up is the juicing screen. So as you guys can see, the amazing thing about this juicing screen, unlike Kuvings' previous juicing screens, is that I'm not seeing a lot of stuck-in, ground-in residue, pulp residue, coming out of the juicing screen. So I'll have to be testing this on carrots because that's really the test. But so far, I like the new juicing screen style. Once again, inside the juicing screen, there's always going to be a little bit of pulp, so that's quite acceptable. Next up, we got the wiping blade. Just a quick wash of this wiping blade, and you'll be good to go. And of course, the juicing bowl is already rather clean. Now, I want to show you guys a really cool auto cleaning feature of the Kuvings Auto10. So now I want to show you guys how the Auto10 can partially clean itself. So I really love that it can actually do this task. So what you're going to do is you're going to take approximately 32 ounces of clean, warm water. I added 2 squirts of my dish soap in here. We're going to then go ahead and turn this machine on. Make sure your spout cap is closed, and you're just going to go ahead and pour the water in a little bit at a time. What's going to happen is the top chamber will fill up. Because there's a gasket in here, it won't leak out. As you guys can see, pulp is coming out because this is actually getting some of the pulp that's lodged inside the machine to actually come out. Due to their amazing design, this is even working. You can then go ahead and put your collection cup down below the spout, and once again you want to let this machine run for several minutes. What's happening is the soapy water is now being agitated by the juicer, by not only the auger but also the processing blade in the top of the chamber, and it's just circulating warm soapy water that will help dislodge some of the produce out of the machine, so you will not have to later clean it. Plus it'll kind of carry with it some of the carotenoids and other pigments from the juicer parts. Once you guys let this run a little bit, you can go ahead then and open this up, and you guys can see the dirty soapy water is coming right out, and it'll just basically funnel the rest of the soapy dirty water through the machine. So now we have some, you know, more dirty water, and it's removed a lot of the sludge and remnants from inside the machine that's kicked out into the pulp and also put in to the catch cup. So after doing this auto clean function, I want to show you guys now what you're going to need to clean. Once again, tip this up. I always like to tip it down and try to get any further liquid out. Let's go ahead once again, push that down, spin it off, and now look at this inside now. We still got to wash this, but inside here a lot less residue. It's fully soaped up, ready for us to go. The pulp that was kind of hanging on over here in this area is completely gone. It's sent it out the pulp chute. Removing the auger. Once again, look at this auger, guys. It's fully soaped up. Yeah, there's a little bit of residue, but half the residue that was there previously. We're just going to spray that down with water. And of course, the juicing wiping blade, all you got to do is spray that down. It's fully soaped up, ready to get clean. And the juicing screen, look at that. The outside of the juicing screen is almost pretty much clean. Inside the juicing screen, once again, the pulp inside there definitely reduced by about 50% as well. And now the juicing bowl, look at that. That juicing bowl is almost clean enough, ready to go. I'm going to basically spray this down with high pressure water. We're going to have to still open that pulp port and remove the excess pulp right here. Spray this area down, and you'll be all clean and ready to juice your next session. So we're going to go ahead and clean this up real quick, and then I'm going to show you guys how you can make a frozen fruit sorbet in the Kuvings Auto10 with the included sorbet attachment, something I think other juicers should be including as well. So after an easy cleaning that only took a few minutes, I'm going to set up now to make the sorbet using the frozen bananas and frozen strawberries today. This is known as banana nice cream because it's nice to animals. Also, it doesn't have any dairy, so if you're lactose intolerant or you just want to eat healthier because you don't like all the added sugars and monodiglycerides and additives they add to ice creams these days, you guys could simply just freeze your ripe fruit under vacuum, that's how I recommend, and then process them yourself into a soft serve style dessert that tastes amazing. But before I show you guys how to convert the Kuvings Auto10 into your own personal sorbet maker, I want to show you guys another attachment I almost forgot about. It is their citrus juicer attachment. So today I juice citrus by basically cutting off all the orange part, leaving as much white part as possible. That's where a lot of the vitamin C is located. For those of you guys that don't want to go through that and you just want a quick and easy orange juice, you guys could also buy the citrus attachment they make for the Auto10. And this unit add-on, it's additional, you can basically convert your Auto10 into a citrus juicer. So what you're going to do is you're going to take off the juicer parts, and you're going to go ahead and simply put on the citrus juicer parts. And when you turn the machine on, you guys can see we can now just cut up oranges in half, put them on, and when you push it down, it automatically engages and gets the motor to run. So it's safe, it doesn't turn on until you actually put the orange on here. Lime, tangerine, or mandarin on here to basically make citrus juice the traditional way. And when you're done, you can just go ahead and pull this off and then pour the juice right out. And of course, you have a little cup here on the top, a cap they could basically store it in your fridge like that or pour it into a glass jar. So I really love that they have this citrus attachment that you guys can use if you guys just want to make a quick orange juice using the Kuvings Auto10. So now we're going to show you guys how easily you could convert your Kuvings Auto10 juicer into a sorbet maker with the included attachment. The cool thing about the Auto10, unlike other brands on the market, is if you just press this lever down, you turn it, you could actually detach it while it is still on top of the base. Many juicers, you actually got to take the parts off, which is a little bit less convenient. So once we got the hopper off, we're going to go ahead and then take out the wiping blade and the juicing screen. We will not be needing this. We're going to go ahead and then take the sorbet attachment and line up the red dot there with the red dot here. Drops into place. We're going to go ahead and then take the Auto10 blade, drop it right in, the auger, drop it in place. We're going to go ahead and then take the hopper. Once again, there's an arrow there. You got to line it up with the unlock there, lock it into place. And now we're all set up and ready to make sorbet. Now, unlike other machines where the sorbet comes out where the pulp should come out, Kuvings does it right. They actually send the sorbet out where the juice comes out, which is a nice round hole instead of a square port. So I like this style better. And the only thing you're going to need to do is you're going to have some frozen fruits. So, you know, you could buy pre-frozen fruit. I like to basically get fresh fruit and freeze it myself. I freeze it in these vacuum bags so you don't get the freezer burn that you get normally, and you get less oxidation, and you retain higher levels of the nutrients in the produce. Link down below to my Amazon shop where you guys could get these exact bags that I use, as well as the electric pump that I recommend for doing the bags. It's a lot easier than the hand pump. All right, so to make the sorbet, all we're going to do is we're going to take out bananas, and we're just going to put in a little bit at a time. Unlike when you're making juice, you could load up that hopper. When making sorbet, you want to just feed in a little bit of produce at a time so the juicer does not get overloaded. The other thing I want to mention is that you want to take the frozen fruit out of the freezer, let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes before processing. This will help it let it defrost a little bit, so it'll even work better in the juicer. So once we have this ready to go, we're going to go ahead, and I always like to start off with the banana first. We're just going to go ahead and take pieces of banana, turn this machine on, and we're just going to drop in a few pieces of bananas, let those get processed. As that's going, I'm going to go ahead and take a few strawberries, drop that in, let it get processed, and then we're going to go ahead and continue with adding a few more bananas. And look at that nice sorbet coming out, guys. Oh, and should the machine stop, that means maybe you're feeding in things too quickly and or you didn't defrost things enough. Just press the reverse button a little bit and then go ahead and continue on, and it'll continue like nothing happened. So once again, a few strawberries at a time, a few bananas at a time. I think the strawberries are exceptionally hard. They probably need to thaw out a little more than the bananas that tend to be a softer texture fruit. On these strawberries, I did pre-cut them in half, which makes it a lot easier than putting a strawberry bomb, the whole strawberry frozen, into the machine. As you guys can see, we're getting a lot of nice sorbet coming right out of the Kuvings Auto10 hands-free juicer. All right, so the machine is finishing up, and what I like the most is when you just put bananas in. The bananas have a nice creamy texture and really make a nice sorbet coming out. The strawberries are more dense and they're not as creamy, so that's why I recommend mixing like, 50-50 or maybe 25-75, favoring the bananas. You guys can see we have a nice banana strawberry ice cream coming right out of the Auto10 juicer. Look at that. Nice amazingness, and I gotta try this because I'm so hungry. We're gonna get a nice piece that has a mix of the strawberry and banana. Wow. Perfect consistency. It's quite cold in my mouth. So good, so delicious. And another way the Kuvings Auto10 allows you and your family to eat healthier. Not only can you juice your vegetables, juice your leafy greens, and juice your fruits, you could also process frozen fruits in a sorbet and even make smoothies with the included smoothie attachment, or even juice oranges with their optional citrus attachment. You guys learned how we made a juice, 1.5 liters or 1.5 quarts, the most juice in a hopper machine in one go-through that you could even get. So that's what I love about the Auto10. That's where the magic is. It's that 3-liter hopper, world's first, world's largest at this time. Of course, the Sorbet strainer is also included with the Auto10, as well as this smoothie strainer, so it gives you the ultimate flexibility when using the Auto10 machine. And of course, you could also do that optional citrus attachment to easily juice citrus in the morning if you don't want to use the auto-feeding juicer apparatus. I want to know what you guys think. What do you guys think about the Kuvings Auto10? I think this is a solid performer, and it's backed up by Kuvings, who's been making appliances for over 45 years now. And also this machine has a full 15-year warranty. So I think it is a solid investment. That being said, I need to compare this against other machines on the market. So make sure you click the subscribe button and make sure you click the bell so you'll be notified when I do have those videos come out. Meanwhile, what I will tell you guys is this. If you guys have been considering a hopper juicer and you've been waiting for the Kuvings brand because you love the Kuvings brand, I'm going to say buy this machine. It's likely to sell out this Christmas. You guys can save 10% off the Kuvings Auto10 Juicer, which is the lowest price you're going to get these days right now on the Auto10 by using the coupon code DJ10. Once again, link down below to go to the Kuvings website so you guys can save 10% off the Kuvings Juicer to get this amazing juicer at the lowest price available. Not only will you be able to make juices, fill up that hopper, shut the lid, walk away. Just make sure you put a bigger catch cup on there. You can make your sorbets as well as smoothies, as well as buy that optional citrus attachment. I love this machine a lot. Once again, to me, what really makes me like it the most is the hopper design. Now, you know, here's the thing, guys. It wasn't perfect. It left maybe a little bit more residue than I was used to on other juicers, but still the hopper performed flawlessly. It's pretty much empty when we're done. And I do love that new screen cleaning tool that Kuvings includes, and I like their new screen design that makes cleaning easier, and based on this initial testing, puts very little pulp in the juice as well. So if you guys enjoyed this episode, want more videos using the Auto10 and comparing it more importantly to other machines on the market, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. More importantly, please be sure to share this video with other people that are considering buying a hopper style machine so that they can learn about the all new amazing Kuvings Auto10 slow juicer hands-free. Also be sure to click that subscribe button right down below so you don't miss my new and upcoming episodes that come out every 5 to 7 days. You never know what show up, what you'll be learning on my YouTube channel, what new comparisons or unboxings I'll be doing, or even just knowledge bombs I'll be dropping with you guys since I've been juicing now for the last 28 years. And I've been selling juicers online now for 25 years. Time flies when you're having fun. Also be sure to check my past episodes. The past episodes are a wealth of knowledge. I have over 700 episodes on this channel dedicated to teach you guys all about the different juicers, vacuum blenders, and other appliances that allow you to process the most produce in the best ways possible. So with that, my name is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com. Be sure to visit DiscountJuicers.com/YouTube for special promotional offers for YouTube visitors.